They raise your profile, be like the boss.
Okay, don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah. I.S.U.P.K, don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah. Who I be? Crime about, never saw. Break these bitches off. Get one through your stomach, through your damn meal figure. One West, nothing but soldiers and real niggas. Let my eyes get ya. Kiss the motherfucking booth up, play my picture. If you ain't an Israelite, then I don't fuck with you. Passing flyer through the bar, baby, you can take a picture. When they see us at the mall and we breaking down shit, do it for the 12 tribe blood of an Israelite. When them devils start to die, we gon' ride. Slash by the most high, we gon' break the sky. When them white babies run, throw them off in the fire. Bury me a motherfucking piece when I die. I.S.U.P.K, one West, you don't have to lie. Fuck the other side, we don't fuck with you, man. Not get the order and we gon' take ground. I.S.U.P.K, don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah. I.S.U.P.K, don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah.
You don't have to be robbing and killing in the ghetto, living in filth and squalor. This don't have to be our life. This life been given to us by them low-life niggas you call black leaders.
One West, I.S.U.P.K, 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 One West, motherfucking I.S.U.P.K, 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 warfare every motherfucking day. I.S.U.P.K, 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 One West, motherfucking I.S.U.P.K, 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 I.S.U.P.K.
You don't have to be robbing and killing in the ghetto, living in filth and squalor. This don't have to be our life. This life been given to us by them low-life niggas you call black leaders.
One West, I.S.U.P.K, 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 One West, motherfucking I.S.U.P.K, 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 warfare every motherfucking day. I.S.U.P.K, 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 One West, motherfucking I.S.U.P.K, 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 warfare every motherfucking day.
I don't fuck with the fake, never been on a date. Why these niggas so gay? I don't eat food cake. All I eat is steak, chicken and grapes. Run like an 8, don't need no weights. I.S.U.P.K bitch at the bar. Hey, get a bitch wetter than the lake. Hey, open my eye, catch a case. I'll break a bitch nigga face. Hey, one West the only way. Hey, all eyes on I.S.U.P.K. Hey, take round A. Fuck what they say. Now we don't play. Top of my spray. Beat him with the blade. Now the nigga on the fucking page. See sideways. Hey, we know gon' drop like this. One dead bitch, hot like this. I.S.U.P.K hit the fucking block like this. That's what the Lord can't stop this shit. Those ain't no bitch up in sight. All my niggas prepared to die. World War III, word on fire. Waiting on the Lord to crack the sky. In them chairs swing that. Mommy nothing but them I.S.U.P.K sad one West.
I.S.U.P.K, 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 One West, motherfucking I.S.U.P.K, 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 warfare every motherfucking day. I.S.U.P.K, 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 One West, your mouth with the back end. You better hope that I don't get orders from captains. And take ground, bitch, I'm ready for action. You already know what I got to say. If you ain't UPK, bitch, you in the goddamn way. I was born in a lot of field and a battlefield. I'll be ready for this war shit every day. World War III, would you hurry up, please? So I can put my enemies on their knees and make them beg me. But no mercy from me. You didn't get love to the birds and the bees and the trees. So what the fuck do you mean? The only way we can have peace is to hear you scream. I'm priest and the prophets of the king. The stories of the book of the black God is the time I make a sweet dream. I think I was shot, Mashiach, the king of all kings, ruler of all things. Hell is what we bring. Destruction of Babylon, destroying everything. Towards the beams on a whole nother level you ain't ever seen. Woman, UPK queen, 144, you know what I mean. One flesh, nigga.
West, UPK, 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 UPK,
That's right. But we follow the custom like it's a God-given holiday.
In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said He would send plagues upon the earth before He frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. My name is Officer Kayadwan out of I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K. started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K. is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Brakatam to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Ba'asham Yahweh to my sisters. All right, so today's class topic, you know what I mean, is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian Americans are always under the covenant. You understand? My brother Abadawan will come in with that. You know what I mean? Breakdown should be a very excellent class. But in the meanwhile, we're going to play, you know what I mean, some footage of General YAHANNA, you know what I mean, at the cookout, you know what I mean, this weekend. You understand? Where he address, you know what I mean, the little, you know what I mean, the conscious community, you know what I mean, with Sarnet and Brother Polite, you know what I mean, our Brother Pedophilia, you understand? Where, you know what I mean, our people tend to put our trust in these so-called conscious people, but not knowing that these people have no moral, you understand, or no morality, you understand? And they come up against the I.S.U.P.K, you know what I mean, because of the morals that are taught in the Bible, you know what I mean, and no founder don't know that. Them try to ridicule the scriptures saying it is a white man book and all them things there, and try to ridicule the prophets of the Most High in the I.S.U.P.K when we are your moral compass, you know what I mean? And they are not telling you that they are having sex with children. You understand? They are not telling you that they are homosexuals over there in the conscious community. You understand? They condone all of these activities, you understand, but present to you as if there are some, you know what I mean, some wise person or some prophet and bringing you to some cultures that is not of your people. So without further ado, I will jump right into the tape, you understand. Remember to like the video, subscribe, share, you understand? Yeah, man, and all social.
I know you've been through it too much. Do you have? Hey, I just wanted to thank Captain Cesaria and the whole New York team for hosting us today. Putting us down as they do every year. Beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful people. Beautiful, beautiful spot. And no child molesters.
That's right. That's right. I can tell you how I got.
After today, better nobody ask me what does the I.S.U.P.K do. We get rid of child molesters. That's what the fuck we do. I know I got some projects to do. And the reason I'm saying it like that is because when we gonna value that? You know what I'm saying? You say the word damn at the speaking, the Christians act like you must work for Satan. Meanwhile, you got reason to say damn. Look what's going on around us. And more importantly, look at the great works these brothers and sisters is doing to stop all that. That can't be denied. The work that's being done to make us a whole people again cannot be denied. And it's a great work. So again, big up the Captain Cesaria and the whole New York squad, man, for doing it up. Big shout out to all the generals. Most of them here today. I think all of them here today. Big shout out to the generals. Big shout out to the captains doing an amazing work, putting it all together. I heard UPK start seeing some of y'all, a few ends, you know what I mean, trying to fix the problems that we've had for so many years, where the world did not support us. Now they're going to see why they always should have supported us. That's right. They should have never turned their back on us or neglected us. Right? Like these times are going to reveal why when you see them brothers standing on that corner, teaching the words of the Most High, why you should support them. That's right. Why you should get behind them. Why you should take the counsel from them. Now the world is beginning to see it with all that's going on, man. Okay, so we got Sonetta here. And if you want to get in with some questions, we can do something. We can ask you something. Any way to turn and speak in cue so we don't reheard back and forth. Is any way to do that? Oh, keep going that way you want. Right. 1, 2, 1, 2. Come on, Sonetta. Oh, nah, I'm good. Oh. So that was the wisest thing I've ever heard you say. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Somebody give me that scripture where it said that the Lord rose up Peter and them brothers, and fear came over the congregation. I'm not saying you're afraid. The fact that you hold your tongue shows that you realize that there is power here. That's power to bring forth righteousness that's intolerable of evil, intolerable of the things that have gone on for so long in the conscious community and all over the place, man. That's what it means. It's not the kind of fear like you scared of somebody. The Lord ain't worried about you being scared of somebody. But what you should be afraid of is the judgment of the Most High. That's right. That's what you should be afraid of. You understand? Because that Hamite that black people made a god out of. You understand? That he wasn't teaching the Africans. Was he raising up Africans all over the world? Was y'all see him? Was his security Africans? Was his congregation Africans? Was the people complaining about the housing scandals and everything he did, was those Africans? No, they was our people. The Lord wants you to fear him. Fear to bring evil among him, man. And that's a good, healthy fear. That fear goes on in here. You can't do what you want to do in here. You cannot do what you want to do in here. That's right. Everything in here is under scrutiny and orders. And here's the deep part that some people don't understand. There is some very, very spiritually deep brothers in this truth, man. That's right. These brothers in here, man, are not like-minded. This is heavy cats, man. They studying, they growing, the spirit of the Lord is in them, and they doing amazing work. That piece of garbage, man, since on that ain't got no questions, I'm going to take a moment to talk. If you don't mind. That's right. You understand? Because we got an excellent example of a filthy bastard that robbed the hell out of black people but didn't do nothing when it came to the Africans. While the Africans were setting up businesses over the top of God's people, he came to God's people to rob them yet some more. With hours and scams of people complaining all over the internet. And the conscious community, man, better take note. You better take note because you allowed this man to come into the conscious community and you allowed him to become a god in the conscious community, knowing he was scamming people, doing all manner of dirt to black people, man. That's right. Not to the Africans. All this Africa talk, and ain't a single African doing a damn thing with the conscious community. That's right. There's all black people and Latinos in the conscious community. Where's all the Africans at? Where's all the Mutubu niggas at? Where they at talking about they in the conscious community worshiping Egypt and all that. You won't hear about none of that. I ain't never heard an African mention the better than you. Hell no. But you hear black people absorbing it and sucking it up like it's the greatest thing in the world. But you hear, but black people are the ones that's caught up in it. And if you love black people, Latino people, Native American people, you're supposed to be offended by it. Right. I was offended seeing that old stinking African run around robbing people and talk like his philosophy was greater than anybody else's. And meanwhile, this cat was nothing but a child molester. I believe y'all knew about it in that conscious community. Y'all better start exposing the evil. You want to know the difference between us and everybody else? We police this place. That's right. We got rules in this place. That's right. You understand? That's how that's right. And this ain't new. We've been doing this since 1969. That's right. Let me tell you something, man. Listen to me good, because you should know this credo by now. We do not affiliate with any other organization. That's right. So don't put us in no group with some rapist over here, or some other child molesters over here, or some other disgusting group of cats that don't care about God's people. Put us in a different group. Put us in a different group, in a group that's trying to bring forth righteousness, man. That's trying to fix ourselves from the evil that is going on. Put us in that group, because that's where we belong. We belong in the group that doesn't allow child molesters to run rampant in here. That's right. And let me clear up a few things, man. Mary was not underage. Right. For all of you that thought Mary was underage. Right. Show it to me in the Bible. Right. I got $500 for you. You can show me in the Bible where Mary was underage. And you can't do it. I don't need to have 500 because I know it can't be done right or wrong. That's right. That's a Roman Catholic Church lie. That's right, sir. To poison us, to make us, you understand, look like, and that be the thing. That's why they be coming at the Bible. They be coming at the Bible because the Bible is the only police force that comes up against the conscious community. That's right. Ain't nobody else come up against the conscious community except the brothers that bring them scriptures and crush that immorality that goes on in the conscious community, man. Same like it went on in church. The churches, man, was disgusting. And Polite did the same damn thing the churches did. Right. Got him a fancy car and decided to lie and game you up. I remember when Tazariak did that first debate with him. Y'all remember that? What did he do at the end of the debate after Cesario crushed him? Go ahead, say it.
Paraded his woman
Thank
around.
you. He showed you what he was going to use to be successful. He showed you, I whore my own woman out to be successful. There she is. And if I'm not mistaken, he made a statement. Did he not say something like, don't y'all want something like this?
Thank you.
Yes. Am I lying, Cesario? Thank you. The man put his own woman up to entice you to follow him. Because that's, heinous in itself. Why the conscious community ain't throwing out the window there? Not literally, you know what I mean. Why didn't you get rid of him then? Y'all culpable now. Y'all let this man come up as a preacher and make himself to be great. And put him up and have him slandering. Remember he was shooting at the Bible with I.S.U.P.K on it? Right. I know, listen. Y'all act like y'all don't want me to pick it up. I don't want to hear it. I'll stop now. I might be offending y'all or something. I'm offending y'all. No, sir. Y'all go for me with like, fuck polite. We done? I want to hear what else to talk about. I'll see y'all on September 17th, court day. Playing with the Most High. That's right. Playing with the U.P.K. like God ain't among us. That's right. Like we don't stand for what's right. Like we don't try to fix us. And let me see if I could. And it's not right. Listen to me good, y'all. It's not right how you brothers and sisters are not acknowledged for what you do. Right. You're not there's so many righteous acts that y'all do that go unseen. That's right. And people know about them acts and see it all the time. And they don't get recognized. Right. But this piece of garbage get on the TV set, you understand, and twirl this woman around, and you make a god out of him. You make a goddamn idol out of him, and he's not even one of us. Right. I mean, I don't know. Some say he's Panamanian, whatever. Who the hell knows? You understand? And you don't know because he lied about everything else. That's why you don't know. That's why you can't trust what he said. That's right, sir. But more importantly, man, the conscious community had better start, one, adopting rules. All right. Number two, adopting some morality. That's right. And shining a way better light on the great things that the Israelite school of U.P.K. does. That's the part that encourages me up the most. You understand? Young boys. We're pulling young boys right out of 2B hall on their way to be drug dealers in death. That's right. And come up in this truth, man, and change their life, man. Right. And fix their life. And get everything that the U.P.K. has to offer. You understand? Everything the U.P.K. has to offer. Right. So much is here. And yet, we looked at like we just a bunch of thugs on the street. Right. Let me tell you something about General Muhammad. All the generals is bad as shit. You can never tell me nothing about these generals. That's right. That's right. You understand? I was down in the gutter with them. I'm trying to tell you, man. It was McDonald's burgers and sore heels for years, standing on snow and ice. Okay? Y'all know it. You know how Taiwo learned how to drive? In a van going down 95, 80 miles an hour. Right. There's a whole camp of brothers in there and equipment in the back. Right. How we drive. That's how we do it here. Right. For the sake of brothers and sisters. Right. General Muhammad, y'all know he's the top counselor here, right? That's right. General Muhammad counsels counselors. I feel that for you. Counselors get counsel from General Muhammad. Right. Brothers and sisters, raise your hand if something in your life got fixed by the counsel of General Muhammad. Look around, get this on that. That's right. Don't tell the world this shit right here. That's right. That's right. Tell me, brothers and sisters, y'all can put your hands down for a while. Tell me if brothers and sisters did not learn how to get off drugs, how to fix their lives, how to put their marriages back together, how to reconnect with their children. Like some cats had to just learn how to be a man. But they came here to learn how to be a man, and nobody allowed them to molest somebody's child. Nobody allowed that. You got sisters in here that's waiting to get married and can't get married because they ain't got permission to get married. You got sisters in here, brothers want to marry you and can't get the okay to marry. Right. This is what we build, man. We come out of the scriptures. Y'all not going to shame the Bible no more and play like the Bible is a light book. Right. You understand? You're not going to do that no more. You're going to recognize that everything we do is because of those scriptures. That's right. And because we followed them scriptures and because we've done a great work in them. These brothers dedicated their lives to helping black people. Look at Jeremiah out there. Jeremiah, how long did it do?
20, 25 years.
About 20, 25 years. Right? I know it's a 25 years. This brother ain't sit around BS. Right. In the streets, building camps, teaching, counseling. Look at Captain Zariah. Captain Zariah came in and wiped the whole conscious community. That's right. Niggas was jumping shit left and right. Doctor this and doctor that bullshit. Y'all just be right, man. Be real with it. All this old fakeism and nonsense and silly nonsense. When we got a whole nation of people destroyed. And here's what you don't know. What y'all in the conscious community don't know. We done adopted this Bible out, and you don't understand the benefits of just changing one brother or sister's life.
That's right.
You don't understand the impact that comes down on a brother or sister and what happens because they change. We ain't no special. We ain't miracle workers in here. Ain't nobody. We ain't come off with some flying saucers somewhere. We regular black people from the hood. But we police this house. That's right. This house don't take no bullshit. That's right. This house is police. You won't be scrutinized when you come up in here. And that's what we have. So don't ask no more what we doing over here.
Right. That's right.
Don't ask us that no more. Because now you see what happens because of what you've been doing over there.
Right. That's right.
With this cat, man.
That's right.
And look, and me myself, we got them all here. I could go all day. Y'all know I always do. I talk about them all day and night because I knew what it took for them to do what they did. Right. And now I see it in these captains, man. I see it in all these captains, man, and coming up in the officers behind them. If you became a captain in the I.S.U.P.K, like you up gold. Right. You had to really work there, right? Get up. And the officers coming behind them, they showing the captain straight up. I'm coming to get me a captainship as well.
That's right.
Like nobody ever had. They ever give it up. Nobody in the last 50 years have ever motivated black and Latino men more than the I.S.U.P.K. Nobody's done that.
That's right.
Nobody has galvanized men to do more for black people, Latino people than us.
Right.
But we get no acknowledgement for it.
Right.
And once again, the conscious community must begin to identify righteous leaders.
Right.
And get rid of the unrighteous leaders.
Right. That's right.
And then you'll have something. That's why we don't allow any fake groups to get up in here. That's right. We'll do it on our own if we have to.
That's right, sir.
Rocket fire, how about show you how? Just so I can acknowledge, you all have to acknowledge. Big shout out to General Isaiah.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Big shout out to General Shalom.
That's right.
These guys go back to me 30, 25, 30 years. I think Shalom 35, 30. We go back 30, 35 years. Right. Can you run Some of you in the conscious community you can't hold a conversation with another conscious. One nigga met another, this nigga this, he this. You know what I mean? You arguing over what old is right, which ain't. We running 20, 30 years in here now.
Right.
Crushing your gods. Right. Crushing your silly religion. Y'all at a lockdown, right? Give it up. Just the straight truth.
All right, the rest of the footage is on, you know what I mean, is on Facebook, you know what I mean. If anything, I'll post the link in the description. But without further ado, you know what I mean, we turn the class over to Priest and Officer Abadawan.
Shalom. Shalom, Hebrew. This is Officer Abadawan.
Shalom.
All right. Yahweh Shim Yahweh Barakatam to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Adatan Basham Yahweh to my sisters. Welcome to our Sunday evening scripture breakdown. All right. This week we want to look at, there's a lot of the things that is going on amongst our people, which they can't understand why it's like this. You know, as far as they're concerned, they're salt, but they don't know why they're salt. Turn this on. As far as they are concerned, why we salt, but they don't know why it is that they are so quote unquote salt. Now, if you realize the topic that we say, you know, we should send this off already. We say that our blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans we are always under the covenant.
Right.
Right. Whether we are fulfilling our end of the bargain or not, we are under the covenant. And the thing is, our people does not know. And therein lies the problem. Because they are going through some sufferation in which, you know, they just can't understand.
Good.
For instance, we want to zero in really on, you know, what we call black struggle, or black, what was it called? Black power.
Good.
And then the prison system. Because the black power talk, in one way, cause our people to go off track, in that we term it black power rather than saying Israelite power.
Right.
That would have been the more appropriate term. When I say black power, you're talking about people with black skin.
Good.
And that was what opened the gate for us to start saying that we are Africans, one, and to be including the Africans who were our oppressors. They were the ones who caught us and sell us.
Right.
When you hear them talk about black man sell black man, the white man know the difference, you know. But him tell you that is black man sell black man. It wasn't a lie. It was two different sets of black people.
Right.
The Africans are black skins. The Israelites are black skins. And this black power talk, our movement, is what give rise to what we have today, the conscious community, in which you hear our general elaborating on when it comes to polite.
God.
Polite has gone up against the UPK so many times, never won, and he has gone up against even the fake Israelite camps,
God.
and now he's on charge, just like a Christian pastor.
God.
I hope, we really hope, I don't know his background. He sounds like a black American, which means that he would have been an Israelite. And just like how Christ never come to condemn his people, we are not condemning him, but we are condemning his actions. Because salvation is for him too. Meaning, if he come to his senses and turn around now, he can be saved. The door is still open to him. So when people hear we talking against him, it's not condemning, we're condemning him. We're condemning his actions, because his actions has helped to now lead more of our people into more darkness. And what is this darkness causing? Causing a problem to our people who would like to really search for the truth. So in other words, they are even more confused. Many of our people really want to find the truth in a way. They have they see so many things out there now that them sort of, why wonder if they get into the wonder if thing. Maybe it is the most way of doing it. We don't know. Because to you, it is given. If he says to you, it is given to understand. What's the word again? To understand
Mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. If it is given to you to understand, then it means then that many of those who get lost behind the conscious communities and get lost in the fake Israelite group is the ones who it is not given to.
Right.
Because when they come upon the truth, the first thing they do is saying, no, sir. But we still don't condemn for that, because remember when we first came on the truth, we look and we say, hold on, how the money look so? And then when they listen to what what these men were saying, then they say, okay, this is it. It connects with you.
Right.
Why it connects with you? Because to you it is given to understand the mystery of the kingdom. Maybe we should start with that verse. It's Matthew what again?
Salakia, let me find it.
So the one who it is, who the message is for, when it comes to that person, for some reason you understand it. The one that it is not for, they end up in the parable of the sower. You remember that well, we're not going to that one now. Meaning,
may have the mystery of the kingdom of heaven. Salakia, sir.
All right. What's the scripture?
It's Matthew 13 and 11.
Oh, it's 13.
Cancer.
All right, give me a minute there. Matthew. Where is Matthew? Matthew 13, that's it, right?
Cancer.
Alright. Alright. And above that, if we go to Matthew 13, above this you have the parable of the sower. Right.
God.
So to our viewers, you can read, it will be good if you read all of Matthew 13, our listeners.
Right.
But we're going into 11, Matthew 13 and 11. All right, we're going to Matthew 13 and 11. It's a polite look. This is why I mugshot this.
Cancer, allegedly. Cancer.
We don't get the side view.
No, but you know what I mean? So him say as Photoshop, you know, but you know what I
Him
mean?
say a Photoshop.
Yeah, him say a Photoshop.
So in other words, so for them get from the accusations come against him, people just give him a mugshot.
Right.
But he can't blame anybody. He was the one who put himself out there.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And UPK we have put ourselves out there and we have withstand the test of time.
God.
He was hoping that he withstand the test of time. But what we're going through today, you're going to see why the things that happened to them. Read Matthew 11, 13 and 11.
God the one can. This is the book of Matthew chapter 13 and verse 11. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
All right, read 10 before this.
Canada one can, verse 10.
Explain why he said that in 11.
Canada one can, sir. Verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 11. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
Right. So to you, the disciples, those who follow and believe earnestly, who seek to follow the Most High with a singleness of heart, like in the time of Christ. To you it is given to understand the mysteries of the kingdom, but to them it is not given. Them who? Them who don't, they hear you, they might know that what you're saying is truth, but their heart is not with you. Their heart is still in idolatry.
God.
So those are the ones that's the them right here. To them, it is not given. But more in particular, Christ was really referring to the scribes and the Pharisees.
God.
But you have so many scribes and Pharisees in today's. Right?
God.
To the Christians, the Muslims, the conscious community, the Rastafarians, they are all like the scribes and Pharisees. Why? All of them know about the laws of God. All of them say, yeah, you should follow it. The Jewish man say, yeah, you should follow it. But at the same time, they are the same ones who would today want to kill back Lazarus, who Christ raised.
God.
You understand?
God, sir.
So that what they are saying can look people, in other words, so that they can draw followers.
God.
We don't seek to draw followers. You have a school and it's just 4 or 5 or 6 away. We don't. As long as we're not sinning and we're doing the Most High's work, we go and do it.
Right.
Right. We don't look at the noise of the market. Right.
God.
And this is what Polite sold himself to. Going out there and talking about the woman is God and God is a woman and until a woman shell him off in a one club because she want to go dance with another man. Eh? You remember that video?
Last, sir. I forgot to check out that one day.
You didn't see that one day? Yes. And that was the first cut. That is the first physical cut we get against him, man. So our brother, it seemed like the brother was in the club.
Okay.
And him just a video Polite, and when him look, it just so in time for it. And the video, polite there with the woman, and the woman just push him aside and like him and say, I want to dance with this man.
Okay.
And him scratch him head in a little embarrassment and go one side.
Right.
Yeah, then if the woman, if you go and say she's God, then obviously she go with who she want to go with, don't.
Obviously, God rejected him.
So him God.
So luck, yeah.
So him God give him a little rejection in the club. That was the first one. And this one now him get charged with, what's the charge? Molesting a minor.
Cancer.
Yeah, for some reason, all those who portray the scribes and Pharisees, they can imagine what was happening in Christ's time, man.
Right.
Because you didn't have any laws against molesting a minor at them time, really. So can you imagine what was happening then?
Right.
Just look at what is happening today. How they are molesting underage girls and molesting boys. You know, one of the reasons why, the Muslims, them molest boys.
Can.
You know why they do it?
Salakia, law, sir.
All right. Our law say if a man lies with a man, don't.
Cancer.
Right. So they are aware of that law. So
okay.
Their excuse now. A boy is not a man.
Okay, can. Salakia,
You
I
see
heard that. Salakia, I heard that breakdown. Salakia.
Okay. You see how twisted their minds are?
Can.
Yeah, man. That's how twisted their minds are. So a boy is not a man, so you can't go lay with him.
Can.
You as a man can go lay with him. So this is how them other nations take our laws, can't interpret it the right way. Just like how the scribes and the Pharisees couldn't interpret it properly in Christ's time.
Right.
It's the same thing. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 27 and 1.
Canada one can. Canada one can, sir. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27 and verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
All right, so we were commanded to keep all, not some, all the commandments.
Right.
Because our people trying to be self-satisfying. They want to select which. Oh, I hear General, I think it was General YAHANNA who referred, or Mahaiman, referred to it as church, something like church shopping.
Can, sir. Yeah, man.
You're shopping around to find the church that would suit you.
Right.
There's nowhere in the scripture that tell you should or you can do such a thing.
God.
You get me? And these are the things that our people do. All right, go to Deuteronomy 28. No.
Canada one can. This start at verse 1.
Yeah, we're going to read 1.
Canada one can. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
All right. So that is the place of the black man to be in rulership of this earth. And that's righteous. Why? When we are in rulership, one, the law, God's will is done. We can just put it that way. What is God's will? That, like our Father, God will be done on earth as it in heaven. In other words, we work to have the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Same laws, statutes, and commandments they have that rule His kingdom to rule earth. His will that you serve Him and love him and love your brother.
Right.
Basically. So that we establish God's will. The other nations don't. They seek to establish man's will. They're going to tell you that their religion said this and their religion said that. But all their religion is man-made.
Right.
Our way of life is not man-made. Right?
Right.
Moses didn't write those laws himself. Moses he would have to be, he couldn't be that skilled.
You understand? God.
Because when you look at the laws and you look at what happened before Moses, like in the time of Noah, you see semblance of the laws in the time in Noah's and those who before Noah time. Abraham come all the way down
God.
before the law was actually put into Moses and in writing. Right? So he wouldn't be that skilled. So in other words, he wasn't the total. There might have been some things that he added into it, like divorce, because Christ referred to that and said, that was Moses' law, but really and truly, you can't divorce. You get me? So, right. So that was one of the one thing we know that there was some legislation that Moses under council would have added put in the law. And there, but the matter of fact, everything that he put that Moses would have write or would have been written by Moses was sanctioned by the Most High.
Right.
Because the Most High would come, the cloud would come down over the tabernacle in the evenings. And the people could see the cloud covering the tabernacle, and they could hear the voice in there that Moses is communing with somebody. Right? So the voice of the Most High came down and taught Moses in the evenings. Just like that is why we have classes in the evening. It's our tradition from in the wilderness to educate our people in the evenings, not during the time that they would gone out to work.
God.
We do it after work time, because you give people the time to work and to take care of mundane issues or worldly issues. And they go for an hour or go for 2 hours or so and commune with the Most High. And all we do today, we do by the Bible. So that's verse 1. We're going up to 3 with this one.
Can everyone can? This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
All right, so here's the one that is saying, blessings come over here and overtake you. Meaning what? Boy, you can't run from the blessing. Just like you can't run from the curse now. You can't run from the blessing. No? It's like the white man. If the white man go into Timbuktu and go to a bank, because it is his kingdom, it's his blessing, him can go and get through, don't?
Right.
But whether you in your country or you go to another country, it's a total different story. That's the curses. Verse 3.
Another one can. Verse 3. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field.
Blessing country and blessing the town.
Another one
Blessed
can.
shall thou be in the cities like the town, and blessed shall thou be in the field like country and town.
Another one can.
So whether you're there country or you're there town, you're blessed if you're following the voice of the Most High God. All right, drop down to 13.
Another one can. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 13. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them.
Yeah, if we were following the commandments, we wouldn't have so many Karens, you know, in America going up against black people.
Right.
You know, when you work hard in life and you achieve something, you know, you get some success. It's a good feeling. And you live in a nice neighborhood now and think. Only to just see some people come around you, some white people come around you and come nigger you up still.
Right.
That's heart-wrenching.
Gone.
But it has a purpose. It comes from the Most High because you now achieve something and you have not achieved the first thing that you should achieve, which is sticking to the commandments of the Most High.
Gone.
You get me? I'll power with this now. Just check it out in the good. Right. Only to see these things happen. So this is where the crux of the matter is, and this is what the church is trying to blank out of the minds of the people, that, you know, this is not in effect again. You can imagine, take Vibes Cartel now, and you send a strong psychologist in Vibes Cartel direction now, to convince him that he's not in prison.
God.
And then they're going to convince all the men around him in the same prison. You know, you're not in prison, you know. Prison is done away with. You're not in prison.
All right.
Well, now, in that case, which is so obvious, you're going to look around and say, so what is this am I in then?
Right.
Well, it's the same thing with we now. We are in the world. We are in the earth, in Esau's world, going through some pains and things, and the church is telling you that the very thing that is causing your pain and your suffering is done away with. First thing should start clicking in your mind, then you know what really is happening.
God.
But these are the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, which they're not understanding.
That's right.
All right, that was already 15.
13, sir.
All right, 13, 14. We're going to what? 16, you know.
Canada 1 can. Verse 16.
No, man. 14.
Canada 1 can. Verse 14. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left hand, Silaki, or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them.
Right, continue.
Canada 1 can, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Oh, next one. All right. So if we don't follow, then these now is what is, rather than the blessing overtake you, you're now going to have curses overtaking you, meaning you can't go run from them.
Right.
Come on. Continue.
Canada 1 can, verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Right. Curse. In the same way that you would have been blessed in the town and blessed in the country, you would now be cursed in the town and cursed in the country.
Right.
All right. Drop down to 20.
Canada 1 can. This is verse 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursings, Salakia, cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me.
Right. So, cursing, vexation, rebuke. You know, that rebuke is what? That's those Karens. Those Karens
Right.
bringing out the rebuke. All right. Give me. All right. Them video. Give me them videos that we'll talk about the prison.
Another one can.
Prison system.
Any specific one first, sir?
I think we could do it in the order in which I gave it to you.
All right, another one can.
We're really just using them for reference. We're not going deep into them.
Another one can. Tell me if you're hearing the audio, sir.
People, welcome back to Politics Watch. Now today we're going to talk about Jamaica.
Say that again, sir. Salakia.
Loud and clear.
Okay, another one can.
Because prisoners and how, as it stands, there's currently a huge debate on whether they should get condoms because the rate of HIV in Jamaica's prisons is skyrocketing. Right? The last study that was conducted found that the rate of contraction is 6.9%, which is over 100% higher than what it was in 2011. So in other words, more men, double the amount to be exact, are catching HIV in Jamaica's prisons now than just 7 years ago. So what this means is that people are now having the debate. Should men in prison be given condoms to slow the rate of HIV? Now, this is very interesting because prison is meant to be where the biggest, baddest, hardcore shatters them, right? But it turns out, enough of the man them can't hold the faith. Enough of the man them who was Gallus a road. When them go in a prison, especially when them get a long sentence, end up switch. Now, the reason why this debate is raging, right? Remember, some of these men actually come back to society. Right? So if these men are going into prison, catching HIV, getting released, and coming back into society, it poses a risk to especially the women, because let's be realistic, enough bad man who did straight a road, when them go to prison, go turn snapper. When them come back a road, them transform in a gallus again. Right? And then come back to them baby mother or the baby mothers, right? And they pass on what they have, and then the baby mother pass on to somebody else, and this is how society becomes endangered. Right? Now, Jamaican prisons are in a dire state right now. A dire state. A matter of fact, just this morning, there was a post on the Jamaica Observer about how Jamaican prisons are, some of them, well, Tower Street in particular, is running close to 100% of the capacity that it should be having. Right? So the prison was meant to accommodate about 850 people. Right? This is Tower Street. And at the moment, it has 1,619 people locked up. And to make things worse, there are over 300 people who have been found guilty and I get ready to get fling wherever they too. Right? So
All right. Pause that.
when you put these things together.
All right. So that's what is happening in the prison, man. And sometimes you wonder if some deliberate action is behind these actions.
Right.
If the intentions were deliberate in that you put so many men packed like sardine in one place for so many years. What you think you're promoting?
Right.
Eh? Which is why in Israel we never had prisons,
Gone.
If somebody is dead, you kill him.
Right.
Yeah, if him innocent, you free him. There was no locked up until you depend on try and long 2 3 years.
Right.
Because we had that law against homosexuality, our actions has to be such that you cannot be promoting it indirectly.
Gone.
Right? So we say you have to love your brother, but you're not to make love to your brother.
Right.
But the prison system, that is what they're promoting there.
Gone.
To the point now and this has been over years now they're talking about. You remember there was a prison riot a couple of years ago when I think it was one of the prison directors or so. He said, boy, at the rate, him said just like, him just astonished at what was happening there. Based on how him said, like him would say, man, at the rate at which HIV is spreading in the prison, it look like we're forgetting them condoms, man. And the straight ones in the prison now start to riot and start to beat the ones in the prisons who are the known homosexuals. You understand?
God.
Yeah, because I say, who no make them things on the road and people are going to think say everybody in here the same thing and all that, right?
Gone, sir.
All right. And that person came under fire for saying it too. Now, today is the same problem again. HIV on the rise, and it's all because of the curses.
Right.
Deuteronomy 28 and 20, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto do. What is the rebuke? You not wanted really, you don't want in a society.
Right.
That's rebuke, You have white men commit the same kind of crime that these black men commit, and some of them get community, what I call it, community service.
Community service.
Yeah. You just get community service, committing the same crime as the black man committed. And the black man get couple of years, and you hear that you have to go do your community service at this library. It's your duty every Monday morning. Or they do it in hours. How much hours per week you're going to come and you do free labor. Give free labor to the community. That's what the community service is. So why you couldn't give these black men free labor sentence too?
Right.
Because there's an intention behind it.
God.
Yeah, man, there's an intention behind it. All right, CM28, go to 21.
I'm still here, sir. All right, say, in a prison, them could have just make it a rule that, anybody get caught having sex in the prison, there is severe punishments for it. Instead of think about for hand out condom.
Give them condom.
You understand?
Because, that's what they wanted.
Right.
One, the prisons are overcrowded. So if you know that you don't put the necessary things in the society for these men to legally survive.
Right.
So,
And at the same time, you know you're going to send them to prison, but you don't build the facilities to put them there.
Right.
You chuck up everybody in the thing. You have an intention, man.
Right. And another thing now, them can't deny that AIDS is as a result of homosexuality. You understand? Because these men never go in a prison, you know what I mean, with AIDS. You understand?
Right.
And because of them homosexual, you know what I mean, activities in the prison, them catch AIDS. You understand?
So why they want to give condoms rather than say identify those who have the disease? Just like how you identify the ones who have the COVID-19 and you put them in isolation.
Right. And isolate them.
Why not isolate them in there?
Because them are promote it. It's luck here.
All right. You know, one of the things what they did one time, they had a block in which they isolated the homosexuals.
Right.
I think comes known as the B-man block.
Right.
They mean get another name to you know. Like they want to say black C or black something another. Which means if I hear that name, they know a homo wing.
Right.
But it's growing. And you are also now promoting the homosexuality on the streets. By the way, you know the American embassy take down the flag, you know.
Okay, can. When?
I don't know when it come down.
Because of the backlash, or them just take it down?
How much the backlash, man? Because they won't take it down so quick.
Okay, can.
Yeah. I'm take it down. But we don't know how long they won't take it down for. You know, maybe the fire got too harsh.
Right.
At that time. Or maybe they were getting too much cancellations of applications. Even though I don't think that's the case still.
Lord, we don't think of that. Maybe it became obvious now what their agenda is. You know what I mean? So it become obvious and them see it go around social media. You know what I mean? And them try to save it.
Also, it could be that the most I know that your time is coming up to go there. You know why you are walk on and what man banner for go because they want to go into them country.
So lucky them can go on with them thing, you know. They can go on with them visa, you see?
Yeah, me know. But maybe the most I want you there, so he said, no man, my priest time is coming up. This have to come down.
Right. So lucky, sir. So the interview, remember, so we have to go interview some people up there, you know, to find out what about the think about them foolish this day. So lucky.
You still don't want to go early, can interview like the
really
people.
Matter to me, you know. You know me think already, sir. If the most time
the people them where well you can't get to see people them who are gonna go in the embassy. You're not gonna get to interview those people.
No, I thought the protesters.
Right. Well, we can check there after the curfew lift.
Okay.
And see if any of them come back out. Well, like the flag gone down, maybe they're not going to protest.
Okay, right, true.
But we can still pass through and see what's what.
God.
The people who will speak to at least 3 people who in the area. Who you have some people who work on the road, do them hustling and hey, they tell you that this is the we really renegated to flatfoot hustling, you know.
Right.
Some hustling going on the road there, you know. Parking. You can't go inside the embassy with a phone, camera, and so on. Yeah, nothing you can go in there with. So you know when you're going anywhere, you carry your phone.
God.
So you have the man them on the road now who keep a phone for you till you come out. You pay $500.
So like yeah. So the security guard them at the embassy, them no hold people phone.
No, boss. You've got to show that in a bin.
Okay, God.
So the man on the road now come and hustle and say, all right. From you come out the vehicle and come to you and say, over embassy, you're going to say, yeah, man. They say, all right. These are the rules, you know. No phone, no this, no that. You have none of that. Say, yes. He Say, all right, they can left with me for $500 and give you a number. They give you a number. And do them hustling out the road. And you come and say, you want parking? Say, yeah, man, all right. You go over there so you pay one little money. Now, somebody are there parking now.
Right.
Yeah, man. Right on the, you see the side where you get to there.
Yeah, man. Over the left.
Right. Then go over there. So, at this, so the hustling come out there now.
Okay.
Yeah, people, I'm glad for you, but hey, me I tell you, man, all people are easy at all. But a survival, this is what the curse is about. When you say you curse in the city, what do you mean? You become a flat-foot hustler in the city, nothing else, you can't do nothing substantial in the city.
Right.
Right. So what they are doing is flat-foot hustling, and I find it interesting because they just look at the laws with the British, which the embassy have, the American embassy.
Okay.
And then they see, oh, they can hustle after that. And they make good hustling too. Because if you're there and you keep 10 somebody phone for the day, you make a little change for the day.
It's a lot.
And it's daily.
God.
And you can see that they get a lot of customers too because they give you a number.
God.
So they know which.
It becomes a business, lucky.
Yeah, it's a business they set up right there on the roadside.
God.
But they can't. You have a line on the outside which leading the persons through the gate. They can't go over that side. Even though it's on the road.
Yeah.
And there's no fence barring you. You have the police and the security guards, preventing you from going there. You have a particular spot where you come off. And if you're going in the embassy, them engage you.
God.
Right. So, the no soliciting, no video, you can't do no videoing and no thing on the inside. So when you go in there, you get a feel of it's the most discipline I've seen Jamaican do.
So
when you go inside the embassy there.
Right.
Yeah, man. Just sit down. No fidgeting, no talking. Place quiet. You wonder if anybody is over there. Place quiet. Trust me.
The importance of getting that US visa,
You see it?
Yeah, man.
In a way, I understand it because a lot of people use it to earn for earning.
Right.
Because if you're an automobile dealer, you need it,
Gone.
Because you're going to travel abroad to get to source your vehicle.
Right.
If you are a manufacturer, you're going to need it.
Right.
Because you're going to have to travel abroad to source your raw material.
And so like, even the regular person, you know what I mean? They might go over there because they must seek an opportunity.
Yeah, if you want to go run off, you still need a visa.
You still need it. You understand?
So anyway, you take it, you need it.
Okay.
But nowadays, I don't think you need to run off. When you go over there, you can stay over there for 6 months.
And work.
Not legally.
Okay.
And you come back.
So like,
and you can go back. Yeah.
I think I see something where the work visa, you know what I mean, get a little bit more priority than regular, you know what I mean? Regular visa.
Providing that the employer would have identified you from their side.
Gone.
But you can't just look at work visa and say, yeah, go over there, go look work,
Okay, gone.
The employer would have to give you the letter.
Gone.
And so on. So in other words, they are sponsoring you to come up.
Right.
They need your expertise to come in.
Right.
Right. That will give you the priority.
And Slakia, one last question, sir. Are the same thing artists and entertainers go over upon?
No, that's an entertainment visa.
Okay, gone.
So it's a different classification. Though it's a work visa,
gone.
It's a different classification for work. Hey, so one time when the embassy was on Oxford Road, Then you have the car park. You know the side that the embassy was on Oxford Road near New Kingston. All right, it was on one side of the road, and opposite it you have the car park.
God.
You know, so then we have hustling right over there in the car park.
I mean New Kingston hustling.
Yes, man. No, I mean that the kind of hustling. I talk about visa hustling.
Okay. Can.
Yeah. For entertainers though.
For
Yeah, man,
entertainers.
for your touchdown, I say, a man, they have the solicitor, you know. What you call, what the word you call him? The touter. For you come in here, the touter say, come and say, entertainment visa you come from. They say, yeah, man, say, go over this. And you go right on van back with your passport and you do your thing and then you get the stamp. So you know, so that was a bandulo thing from inside.
God. Okay, God.
So it wasn't me really running it. That would have to come from, it's a link from inside.
Right.
But the authorities find it out. The American authorities find it out. You know what they do now? When everybody go through the same process and your visa fly out, your passport goes over America to stamp.
Okay.
Then they remove all the stamp from Jamaica.
Okay, God.
Then I do no stamping out here again because same white man them come out there around Bandolo thing.
And I eat a food.
And they might good food too.
Right. Which them are the real hustler them, you know.
Them are the real hustler, man. Trust me. I think them easy, man. Yeah, man. All right, come to 22 now. We see what is causing all these kind of hustling and things.
Canada one can. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 22.
Hold on. 23.
23?
Let me see if we 20. What we just read? 20.
20, cancer.
All right. 23 now.
Canada one can, verse 23. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron.
Now, what condition could you be in where the earth not produce for you none at all?
Right.
Meaning you when the heaven over your head becomes brass, means you're not getting no rain, you know. And the earth that is under your feet becomes iron, means nothing growing up.
Right.
So you're talking about like drought, you know. But the Most High not punishing the earth now. A human punish.
Right.
So, yeah, if you notice, we have more, lot of rain. You notice that since UPK in Jamaica, we're getting regular rainfall again. You notice that?
Still okay, I never noticed it.
You never noticed? When last we have a drought?
A good while, you know. Good while.
Yeah.
God.
So about the same time, I remember the year before I find out about the truth, we have something like a 9-month drought.
God, I remember a recent drought.
A long drought.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, man. And caused a lot of fires.
Okay,
yeah.
Since
UPK come to Jamaica with the drought, you're getting the rainfalls in the season. It's just the people, them, I know, you know, that's a glimmer of hope.
Right.
But guess what? The heavens is still over the heads of those the Most I want to punish.
Gone.
As brass.
Gone.
Right there in the prison, man. All right. You can post that clip. Can give them brothers give them some promotions for them work. Post the video clip that you just played. You can put it where I put it in the chat. I can put it in the description.
You mean Politics Watch?
Yeah, that one there.
I said share the link in the description, in the comments.
Yeah. You can share it in the comment.
All right,
and
so
the next one now, I think about 3 with the way.
All right, Canada one can.
This one about Williams now.
You want the one where so flow do the interview, or you want the TVJ? broadcast one.
Give me the one I'm sending to you. That thing out on TVJ.
TVJ.
Yeah.
Canada one can.
Has been freed. George. Welcome back to Primetime News. The man who was imprisoned for 50 years without going to court has been freed. George Williams was released after the Director of Public Prosecutions decided he was unfit to plead and that there was no one to give evidence against him.
After 50 years in prison without a trial and facing the court for the first time in less than 2 weeks, George Williams walked from the Spanish Town courthouse a free man today. The historic moment was captured by many ordinary Jamaicans who waited eagerly to put a face to the name. Sadly enough, many will remember him with the black eye he had after he was beaten a week ago by a fellow inmate in the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center in Spanish Town. Despite that, his family was all too happy to start the process of catching up on the many decades they've missed out with him.
We're just going to have fun. First, we're going to take him to the church, let him know the do's and the don'ts. We're just going to try and make up life so quickly with him. Make him live back his childhood days, his manhood days, We're just going to be here for him. We're going to love him.
Childhood days, not gone.
We're just going to do the best
long
for
time.
the little life that he has left out here with us.
Well, I'm looking forward for the next the period of years left because he is the first. He will be the oldest of 8 now. The oldest one has died. So he'll be the oldest of 8.
This is the house in Ivy District in St. Catherine where Mr. Williams will settle after leaving prison. But after leaving the courthouse today, the family journeyed to Linstead for some catching up with people who were never born when Mr. Williams went to prison. His niece is one of those persons. Her husband is meeting Mr. Williams for the very first time.
Uncle George, this is my husband. No. Nigel Green. Yes. So you know that from now until all of us going to take care of you.
A celebration was planned for Mr. Williams. Now, this is the Zephyrin Main Road heading to Yuatan. And while here at the Street Vibes pub is not where George will be spending the rest of his years, but this is where he'll be having his first home-cooked meal now that he's out. Mr. Williams suffers from schizophrenia and that he needed to be on medication. At times he looked lost, but at other times he asked about some of the changes that have taken place while he was locked away. We tried to have a word with Mr. Williams. How do you feel now that you are a free man? How do you feel, God?
I'm feeling different. Feel free, man. Feel free, Feel free, I'm myself. In prison so much years and get the freedom.
How you want to spend the rest of your life?
Eat some good food and eat.
In court, the Director of Public Prosecutions decided to drop all charges against Mr. Williams, who was accused of murder, wounding with intent, and malicious destruction of property. The DPP says there was no need to pursue the matter because she checked and found no witnesses alive. That and the fact that after seeing him over 20 times, doctors say he was unfit to plead.
In light of the fact that he found that he was unfit to plead, then it means that he could not be what we call arraigned. We couldn't read the indictment to him and ask him to plead individually to the different counts. It would be fair to him. So in the circumstances, I use the other option that I can use under the Constitution, which is to enter and not to prosecute, which effectively discontinues the proceedings.
Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
All right. So just before now, what you saw there was a picture of Jamaica Satan.
Right. You understand?
She's the prosecutor in Jamaica here. All right. Now, this case is kind of twofold with this man here. You know him was a Rasta.
Okay, Silaki, I never know that.
Yeah, man, he was a Rastafarian. And we know that this system was prosecuting Rastas. We know
Right.
that,
God.
right? Even though they are not in the truth, they are not preaching, they are Israelites, but they are not preaching and teaching what they should, which is the law, statutes, and commandment, and let the people know that they have to follow them, right, through Christ. They have to make the effort and follow those laws, statutes, and commandments. So they went up against the church strongly, you know. If you remember the history, the Rastafarians went up against the church,
God.
and they went up against the state as well. But I don't think they were prosecuted for going up against the church. They were prosecuted for going against the state. Yeah. When you get involved in politics a certain way, you have to be strong.
Right.
Yeah. So they were not organized as a political party, yet they went against the state, and you have many more in prison. You
know? From theme time.
Probably from theme time or some after.
Okay.
But in his case, he maintained that he was wrongfully accused. That's one. And two, they hear them some kind of schizophrenic.
Right.
Where even the doctors say he's not mentally fit to enter a plea bargain. Sorry, to enter a plea, whether guilt, when they go before the court and say, "Oh, do you plead guilty or not guilty?"
Right.
Right. You have to be of sound mind for them to take you to that stage.
God.
Now, if there is strong evidence against you that you commit a crime and you are held by the police, but you're not fit to plead, they don't just let you go like that, you know. You have to have a good lawyer, one. And let's say you can't afford a good lawyer. Then they hold you into prison, hold you into jail, really. Kind of prison is supposed to be in jail, but they don't hold nobody in a jail for 50 years. So then put him over to the prison at the Governor General's pleasure.
Okay. God.
That's unlawful, you know. The Constitution does not recognize such thing as non-Governor General's pleasure.
Okay.
But there was I don't remember if I sent you that one. There was an interview. Oh, I sent you this interview on your WhatsApp where they were interviewing the lawyer who got him freed.
You can send it back through the private chat. Let me just, you know what I mean, bring it up.
How can I find it? All right, let me go to the Soul Flow interview viewing. I think I sent you this one. The Soul Flow one is the one where the man gets 6 life sentence. We're going to do that next. All right, this one now. Hold on. Let me go to. I'll find it and give you.
Gotcha.
How do I go to my thing from here? So my history. Come here. Go to my history. Go to the interview. Now, this interview was done by one talk show host named Alric. The Alric Show.
Select sir. It's an article.
Huh? No, man, it's a video. It's a video.
Hi, YouTubers. You're now.
All right, this one is. But this one, no, it's 24 minutes. So I'll skip through this one a little. All right, this one. You get it?
Concert.
All right, that one now. There's a part in it when he was talking about a certain emblem that the Governor General used to wear with Michael the Archangel. They then signify Michael the Archangel having foot on Satan's neck.
God.
So that was what the thing that gave him the authority to say he can hold somebody at the Governor General's pleasure. You know, and who being held at somebody's pleasure, what that mean? Let him go if he want to, if he feel like.
God.
All right, this is it.
I'm still lucky. I play hard, Charlie.
Simplicity is humbling.
You must see this if you wear glasses or contacts. Shamanaka, a Nobel Prize winner in
Beautiful. Yes.
We take a break. When we come back, we talk more about Cannon, his personal experiences, and why he's so passionate about health.
So at the right time, it there, right, sir?
We don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know the timing, but we'll skip through it. If we find it, we'll find it.
All right.
No, you can put up the link. Let us skip through.
Right.
You put the link so some viewers can find it themselves and go through it. But play it and make we see.
Can everyone can?
Helping the helpless.
Yes.
You would have had your people believe that you could help this man to be free.
I will say this. I always believe that if your human rights are violated, that there is a remedy and an avenue. So I was confident that he would be free. What surprised me was the swiftness or the urgency.
It took like how many days?
7 days.
That's God's perfect number.
God's perfect number.
Yeah.
And when I said to him, I said, the next time you see me, you will have your day in court. Did I know that he would have had his day in court? No. But I was confident that it was most egregious and unacceptable.
What did you see in his eyes when you say to him, you'll have your day in court?
He didn't believe.
Why would he believe after 50 years?
That's exactly.
Still like sir, you specifically want the part about the Governor General, right?
Yeah, skip through and we hear what him talking about. He
The
himself
four pillars
was
of financial independence in the modern world, they've changed. Okay?
Die in prison. And he's been trying. He wants to go home. He wants freedom. And I looked at him and I said, listen to me. The next time, he ought not have spent.
What was he convicted for?
Not convicted. He was never convicted of innocence. You are innocent until proven guilty by your peers. And so whatever anybody thinks, my condolences to the family of the victim.
Yeah.
Mr. Williams, nonetheless, is an innocent man. And he spent 50 years in prison without going before a jury of his peers to determine if the allegations against him were true. That never happened. So when the day he walked out of prison last week, he remains innocent as if it never happened, regardless of what anybody thinks or how they spin it. He's a free man. He's not under the jurisdiction of the court. And whether
here in Jamaica, it's just a sad reality that needs urgent attention. How are you and your team members and the various social groups are trying to let this issue become urgent attention for our government?
Well, the first thing is intervention and the cry for the public to intervene. Intervene as in that we do not let this situation die down.
Yeah.
It's not something that must be given the usual treatment of the 9-day wonder. I must say that it was the media and the common man that was instrumental in having the matter so urgent that I would say that the outcome in George Williams certainly was a cry from public pressure.
When you heard the story of George Williams and when you met the man, did you actually believe that you could help this man to be free?
I will say this, I always believe that if your human rights are violated, that there is a remedy and an avenue. So I was confident. Would have had his day in court? No. Look at me. Then look at my face because
forward for this.
The application, it's a habeas. It's called a habeas corpus application, which is to bring the man up to the court to investigate why he's in prison.
Yes.
It can be done orally. I chose to put it in writing. The importance of that is you can ask a judge and the judge says no, that's all orally, but for the record purposes, because in my mind, I was prepared to take this matter to the Privy Council.
Yes.
That's where my mind was.
Yes.
And so when I started, I said, if that's where it has to go, so everything said, everything done must be put in writing. So if I ask the judge something and she says no, I said, please put it in writing.
I remember watching it,
in
sir, and
in writing.
you know what I mean? I try to find the time frame in which, you know what I mean?
Old.
They bring up the Governor General
about
thing.
George, beneath the layers of this man being in a system in prison for 50 years, what struck you about this man, really?
More than anything?
Yeah.
That man could be my father. He's also a Rastafarian. He's the humblest human being you'd ever find.
Right.
He's
Yes, he mentioned that he was a Rasta.
And
the man was a Rasta.
He was helpless. That was the reality. But when I spoke to him, he was a walking historian.
Yeah? What are some of the things that you were sharing?
He was aware of the case of Mary Lynch.
Yeah.
I
Famous
didn't know
case.
I didn't know that case.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. Earl Pratt.
I've heard the name Pratt.
He did say that he was at the institution when he watched Earl Pratt walk out, and he wanted to know why he was still where he was. In talking to him, and when he said that he did not want to die in prison, and he's been trying, he wants to go home, he wants freedom. I looked at him and I said, listen to me, the next time you see my face, you'll have your day in court.
He said to you that, I don't want to die here. I want to get out.
Yes.
What did that mean for you in that moment?
It meant to me that I knew that his situation was urgent.
Yeah.
He's 73. Every day that he spent in prison, he ought not have spent.
What was he convicted for?
Not convicted. He was never convicted.
He
was arrested and accused of unfortunate passing of Noel Chambers, a Rastafarian who was locked up in excess of 40 years, or 40 years, 38 to 40 years thereabout. He died in prison at Tower Street. And what is significant is that he never had his day in court. The minute I heard that and reading the report, I realized that there were at least 150 persons who are in a similar situation as George, as Noel Chambers.
Over 100?
Yes, over 100.
That's
Which is they're deemed unfit to plead. They have mental issues, and so for whatever reason they are not being brought to court, or certainly my position is none of those persons are to be in a penal institution.
All right, so that's the situation with this man. The listeners can watch all of it. It's about 24 minutes long, this interview. I think this was before he took on the Vibes Cartel case.
Good.
Because, since he took on the Vibes Cartel case, because he mentioned somewhere there that when him do that, then him get a call about No. He's a call him get from some organizations and they want him to take on them case then. I wonder which organization, I wonder if them J-Flag organization are they behind them something, you know.
Could be, sir. So lucky at the brother
Yeah,
kind
man.
of look.
Because them give you some semblance of good before them hit you with what they want to hit you with.
Right.
Yeah.
And they come in many forms. So lucky.
Look at this Vibes Cartel issue where get big up on Fox News.
God.
Which is why I'm not make much comment about it yet, but I want to see what is really happening.
Right.
Because we understand the times that we are in and the pressure that they're gearing up to bring on Jamaica regarding this.
Right.
While our politicians are saying, leave the matter to us, we will handle it. You understand me?
Canada one can.
And the politicians are telling them that each time you go like our American embassy can put up the gay flag,
God.
each time that they make a move like that, they are aggregating the people and making it harder for the government to do.
Okay, yeah.
To bring the matter in effect.
God.
So, you know, we know the government working and bringing the matter to full effect. And they are going to do it sneakingly.
God.
So, all these cases that get people rejoice, after a while, maybe you see somebody come out and say, but this we CMJ flag was behind all this. We get all these illegal things, these injustices against our people.
Right.
We put a stop to it.
Right. And them see a Vibes Cartel. And them free
And
cartel.
we make Vibes Cartel come out and people now are going to start saying, maybe you're not so bad after all, eh?
Right.
Right. Just like how the one before this, the man them going to prison straight and come out lean.
Right.
I understand. But this is all because from we signed that covenant with the Most High in the time of Moses, we are always under the covenant. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are under the covenant. Whether we are keeping the law, statutes, and commandment or not, we are under the covenant. If you keep it, you get the blessing. If you don't keep it, you get the punishment.
Right.
So you're under it. There's never a time when it was done away with.
Gone.
Now, same Deuteronomy, drop down to 29.
Canada one gun.
Oh, before you read Deuteronomy, give me this one, the man with the 6 life. Who got the 6 lives? Backside, if this man born and dead 6 times, I'm born and dead 6 times before I'm free. 6 life sentences.
Slack, yeah. Give me a second, listen.
Listen to me. Upload TV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. Go grab your drink. Go grab a drink and come and sit in for this one because this one is very, very interesting. Okay? A lot of people might not know about this case. So before I let you watch the video clip of this man speaking from prison, I want you to understand the full story. So this is the full story. Get everybody up to speed, and then we can talk about this. This is somebody who got sentenced to about 6 life sentences, and the story was very crazy. It is surrounded in mysticism, obia, in penis size, and all these other things, right? And a lot of big names are being called. Even Andrew Holness' name being called. And of course, DPP, Paula Llewellyn, some prominent police name call, all kind of badman name call, and all kind of dons of areas name call. When I heard it, I said, I'm ready for dead. Well, if you gave me 6 life sentences, I don't have nothing to lose.
I'm still lucky,
But the man
sir.
same also.
May I skip ahead here, sir?
Well, on, make him finish. Go on, hear what him saying, and then you can skip.
Okay, him talk for a couple of minutes, though. Here, sir.
Couple minutes? All right, skip ahead.
Yeah. Can, sir.
I'm the only one who kept behind bars. No, after being behind bars, I was approached by some big name police.
We all know the crazy chaos caused by trying to use more than one app for productivity.
So that I'm supposed to keep my mouth shut and everything will be okay. Now, after being in custody, fake bail hearing has been put in for me to go on the street to retrieve money to give back to these guys. Now, 2 weeks before these people got killed, we all 7 of us, the 6 deceased and myself, went to Inspector Hall asking for help. However, Inspector Hall took the report and said she was going to handle it. However, 2 weeks after that, the 6 people got killed. Now I'm the one who's left accused without no form of proof, no form of investigation being done. Now what I'm going to show to you now, Mr. Andrew Owens, I was born in the 60s. And I remember parents used to say to you, show me your company, I'll tell you who you are. And they also say anything that goes on in the dark will come to light. Now, this is what I'm giving you now, the light. Now, when this incident happened, Mr. Andrew Wilson and Mr. Brian Sykes, everybody knew this was a one-man murder. They found body in places like Needham Pen where I never been in my life, not even one single time. Now, as I was saying to you, I was approached by some big people when I was behind bars, instructed to keep my mouth shut, so that's what I did. There was no police report written at that time, even to take me to trial. Now, when this thing reached into Paula Llewellyn's hand, this detective who was supposed to do the report and whatever, Mr. Bell, Carlos Bell. Now, at the day of trial, they said there's no police report because it got mixed up or whatever. However, Mrs. DPP Paula Llewellyn said she had an idea what this case is all about because she have a witness whose name is Patricia who told her that I have a 12-inch dick. So this case was based on 12-inch golden dick instead of the 6 people who got killed in St. Louis. Now, after being in custody, lawyers come to me. They put in fake bail hearing date. Bail hearing date is for 2:30, right? When I reached to circuit court, there's a next car waiting for me right there. 6 blocks down from the circuit court, there's another rental car. That is the meetup spot, that's what we call it. However, I was given my own rental car to go retrieve money. They told me I have 6 hours each time that I go out. Now for the 17 years, I'm quite sure Jamaica heard that I've been up on the street 19 times for 6 hours and 6.5 hours each time. Now, Mr. Owens, I want to ask you, which murderer killed 6 people and get the chance to go to the street and retrieve money then? Whatever. Why didn't I escape? No, when my trial was going on, I brought this up to Paula Llewellyn and Paula Llewellyn, so however, disregard what he's saying because he's a liar. Now, Paula Llewellyn asked me a question. If you went out here so many times, like you said, why did you leave? I said 7 brothers, 7 different minds. Now, why should I escape? Why should I run? What did I do to run? No, Mr. Andrew Owens, as I was saying to you before, other people used to say, show me a company, who we are. Do you know who is James Roberts? Yes, the one that you have on your seat right there. Do you know who is James Roberts? James Roberts is one of the biggest drug dealers in Jamaica. And Mr. Andrew Owens, 65% of Jamaican saying that your big mansion is built.
It's lucky, sir.
I hope persons listening to this video and listening to us right now, especially our brothers abroad, I would like all of them to really watch this.
Right.
All right. This, me cue it, but I didn't get to watch all of it. I mean, I tell you, you hear that Grandma call and thing and say, no, like where so flow man say, if you get 6 life sentence, then that, you know, nothing to lose. So if they want to kill you, then kill you. And this is what is happening. You know, this man a wine in the system. You know him a what? For them I said him go retrieve money.
Him is a puppet, pawn.
Not just a puppet. Him is a badass puppet.
Okay.
You know, saying simpleton go do them things.
Right.
We in Jamaica, we understand some aspects of the streets. We understand the streets. We know say simpleton don't do them work there. Now the question is,
Salakia, sir.
Yeah.
Salakia, sir. But I ask you, like, so them basically put him in prison to use him to carry out certain tasks. You know what I mean? Have him as if like a slave or something. Salakia. Me I ask you, I don't really know.
Where them can pull him out when them need him. That could be the case, you know. Because you don't know you have man who when election time then come on road. Do them for do and go back in. Yeah, man. The system where you have that is governing over blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Whether you are in the United States of America, you are in Canada, you are in Mexico, you are in wherever. The system that reigns over us is evil. Remember, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. You get me?
Right.
So once these people realize that them can hook them claws in you, you know what's coming next, eh?
Right.
They're going to keep you and use you. All right, continue to play my clear, Marcel. Give him a couple of minutes more.
Canada one can.
On Mr. James Roberts' cocaine money. So you tell me, now, the 5 guys who got picked up when this murder was happened, these guys work for James Roberts. And Mr. Andrew Oldis, 65% of Jamaican saying that your big mansion is built on Mr. James Roberts' cocaine money. So you tell me, now, the 5 guys who got picked up when this murder was happened, these guys work for James Roberts. The Don of St. Thomas, his name is Saladiks. He's the one who got contract. You know what these people got killed for? This is the vital question. A lot of money. The deceased person, the Don of St. Thomas, his name is Saladiks. He's the one who got contract. You know what these people got killed for? This is the vital question. A lot of money. The deceased of a brother by the name of Cheval. A lot of money is supposed to come down from the United States, and to the deceased, Farika and Terry and Mohammed share it with our brother. Cheval is in Canada right now, Mississauga, Canada, somewhere over there. We stay with George. Now, when the money arrived, to the deceased told your brother about it. So Cheval decided to get his crew, his gunman crew, and go rob these people. Now, in the process of doing this robbing, 2 people got killed. So what was left for Cheval to do? Run away. So what his family do now? Get some bandula papers, former papers, and send them off to Canada. Now these people knew that he was involved in the murder. Now, 2 weeks before these people got killed, we were taken from our business place. Me and 2 of the deceased and 1 of the kids. We was taken over by Duckins P.K. in Peace, where Terry and Mohammed and Farika was raped repeatedly for 2.5 hours. Now, after they finished raping her and doing whatever they did to her, my phone, after they leave, my phone rang. And who's it on the phone? Inspector, saying, Michael, I heard what happened. I said, what do you mean you heard what happened? And by the way, how did you get my number? She said she got it from Sergeant Fairweather. Sergeant Fairweather is the one who did the dirty work from Mrs. and whatever. Now, during that process, these people tell me not to say nothing. While I've been behind bars, they took me about 19 times. 19 times, each time for 6.5 hours. Now, during this period, all these years, while being in custody, I've dated 2 teachers, 2 secretaries, and 2 other local women. I wouldn't say local women, let's just ordinary women. However, during that process time, none of these people knew that I was in custody. Reason why? I went to doctor's appointment with them, we went to dinner, we go to guest house, we go everywhere. So these people had no idea that I was in prison, well dressed, well put together each time. Now, Mr. Andrew Holness, I want to ask you a question now. 16 years I've been behind bars, and when the day comes for trial, instead of me getting tried on 6 murder, I get tried on something small or make it golden dick. She said her theory is that, even though there's no punishment, her theory is that my dick is 12 inches long, she said. So she said her theory is that I was doing a ritual to bring my dick to the full potential, which is 15 inches. I never heard no crap like that before. This is following personal speak. I think you're washed up for school. You knew all of this from day one. And what you do, when the things start coming out, now you're reaching out back to me now to say I'm coming back and forth. Now, Mr. Andrew Olson, Mr. Brian Sykes, look at this paper. These are some CIB from Uptown who was doing some secret investigation from all these years. And now the investigation is complete, and everything is in my favor. When the CIB came to the prison a couple weeks ago, they gathered superintendent, one JP, 2 of the overseer, including myself. About 7 of us was inside the room. The CIB lady said to me, Mr. McLean, the head of the department would like us to ask one question. Why didn't you leave? You have so much chances to leave. Why didn't you leave? I said, ma'am, because of my name. They assassinate my character without any form of proof, without no evidence or whatever. Now, everything has come to light, right? You know, these people, they were so stupid in a sense. They said, after I finish giving them back the money, they're going to book a flight for me to leave the country secretly. That to show you high corruption is in Jamaica. Now, tell me, could I put in a bail hearing date for myself? Can I go book flight for my wife? Now, when the last money was given, which was 300,000, I gave them 7 million altogether, $7 million US dollars. That's what the people got killed for. Chevron is the only one who's alive. He's in Canada. He can tell you what his family got killed for. Now, the guys who commit these murder is a contract they get. The kids who died, they were supposed to die. Wrong place at the wrong time. Mr. Andrew Olson and Mr. Brian Sykes. Now, it falls out that the last money that was given was 300,000 US. I gave it to them. Every money that I give to them over the years, I do recording. I even do documents with me on the outside. I treat my guests on Uptown and saying, this is Michael McLean, the guy they accused of killing these people. Here my treat my guest house. As you can see, I'm right here.
Deep waters. But put the link in the description. Right, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, and the more our people get to understand what is really they are into, that's the day they are going to free it, because him don't understand what I mean, I know.
Right.
As much as him calling names and telling you what him do and think, he does not understand what power of darkness is holding him. The thing is the name when him call holding him. But it feels things spiritually deeper than that, man.
Good.
Right? Him is an Israelite. He need to understand what is happening over him. But
right,
how shall he know if somebody don't tell him?
Right.
That's one of the reasons why we need to get our prison program started. We're just not getting no idea with that. I'm not gonna start back on it or it'll cause some problem. But you know, take me to come soon. I've been waiting long enough now. All right. Next, no, this one no. Deuteronomy, go to 29. Same 68, go to 29. Verse 29.
Canada one concept. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
All right, thou shalt grope what?
Another one can, and thou shalt grope at noonday.
Look for the word grope.
As the another one can. Another one can, the word grope. Search blindly or uncertainly by feeling with the hands.
All right. So you ever in a dark room and you have your hand a feel to get your way around?
Can.
The Most High is saying we're going to grope at noonday. What is happening at noonday? The brightest the sun is, eh?
Right.
Yet we can't see. This is not talking about this physical eyes, you know. This is talking about we trying to find our way back.
Right.
And how were we trying to find our way back? Harlem in the 1900s. Harlem was what? Harlem was the center of black consciousness.
Right.
What came out of Harlem? Come on, go up to the link I gave you now about Garvey.
Another one can.
All right, this was Marcus Garvey, the Harlem years. This is a book writing like. I think it look like it's available for download. If somebody want to read up what was Garvey's year like, it's not anything to praise, you know.
Right.
Because this was groping. I'm using it to bring out an example of we groping in the dark. All right, you come up with it, you find it?
Sir, this is it. Marcus Garvey, the Harlem years.
Can.
Is this the one, sir?
Can, yeah, that one. That's it.
Okay. Well, it's
Right,
a read.
No, never jump to it. I'll read it. But put the description. All right, the first part, you can read that out. There is no renaissance of interest in the life of Marcus Garvey, the African independence explosion that started in 1957 when the former West African colony called the Gold Coast became an independent country, now called Ghana, helped to set this renaissance in motion. Some of Marcus Garvey's dreams about African redemption was being realized. In his lifetime, he was a man who had a stubborn belief in the impossible and came close to achieving it. During the uncertain years that followed the First World War, he built the largest black mass movement that this country has ever seen. Now, Garvey was groping in the dark, just like what the scripture said we will do. Now, that same line will go down to the last paragraph that says, it is no accident that Marcus Garvey had his greatest success in the United States among Black Americans in the community called Harlem.
God.
He came to Harlem was the hub for black consciousness. And when the Rasta man I tell about like them sit down and come out with something.
Right.
We all went to Judah.
God.
And learn black consciousness. All right. He came to the United States and began to build this movement at a time of great disenchantment among African Americans who had persuaded the American dream. Listen to this part, you know. This thing called the American dream was from in Garvey time.
Right.
And so many Afro-Americans believed in the American dream.
Right.
Listen this part now. Until they had to concede that the dream was not dreamt for them.
Right.
They had listened to the American promise and also conceded that the promise, over the next slide now, was not made to them.
Right.
So this was why Marcus Garvey gained some foot among them now. Marcus Garvey gave them the vision of a new dream, a new promise, and a new land. He restored hope where hope had been lost.
God.
Now, he restored it the wrong way because he was aligning us to the Africans, and we are not Africans. This is the real relevance of Marcus Garvey for today. All right, drop down to the last paragraph now. The appearance of the Garvey movement was perfectly timed. The broken promises of the post-war period had produced widespread cynicism in the black population, which had lost some of its belief in itself as a people. Adam Clayton Powell Sr. wrote of Garvey, "He is the only man that made Negroes not feel ashamed of their color." You understand?
God.
That was groping in the dark.
Right.
Talking about black consciousness when we should be saying more like Israelite consciousness. But like
Right.
I've said before, Garvey would have failed because Garvey came at a time before the time appointed for the truth to be born. And when was that?
1969.
1969.
Canada one can.
So, Tawada to the Most High for that time. And the Most High being right on point with his promise that he will never leave us or forsake us.
Canada one
Well,
can.
this, if you listen to General Mahayman breakdown about this time, so some question was asked, I think it was Friday class, when they talk about the Garvey movement, which splintered and gave rise to the
conscious community. Can.
No, before the conscious community, you had something there, the Muslims,
can.
Right, the black Muslim that got shattered, rise to the conscious community, plus other persons who came out of that black consciousness after each time it's shattered. Now, what is going to happen now is conscious community is supposed to get shattered now.
Right.
Right.
But sir.
These are self-satisfying Christian believing Israelites who want a leader does not demand anything from them.
Right.
Right. Where the UPK now in the UPK you are demanded to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's a demand that is placed on you. So just like the scripture said that we will grow up in at noonday, that's an example of us trying to find our way back to the Most High, because we realize that the pressure is on us and it's terrible. So they're groping in the dark. All right, give me 45 and 46.
Salakia. Not Deuteronomy. Okay, I mean the verses. Salakia.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Canada one can. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he command thee.
All right, stick up in. That tape would stick up in. That tape would just play about that man. He was talking. This is exactly what is happening to him.
Right.
Right? Till thou be destroyed.
God.
And many of them in the prison, and they can't figure out why them in prison, because they know that The man who doing thing, him knows him do it, you know. So him now wonder why I'm in prison. I wonder why they not deal with him better.
Right.
But the man who know him don't do anything and end up in a prison. I wonder why the hell him in prison.
Right.
But this is what the Most High said. These curses go. This is the curses overtaking you. Know. You can't run from it. Till thou be destroyed, because of one thing, because we hearkeneth not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandment and his statutes.
Right.
All right, 46.
Another one gun, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
So you see, most people who it's like this. A woman who become a victim of teenage pregnancy. You know, she's the one whose daughter most likely become a victim of the next teenage pregnancy.
Right. Right.
Unless they realize what is happening and break that cycle. The prison is the same way.
Right.
Yeah. When they lock you up as the black man now, you know, and your child, if you're not careful, most likely to become the next generation of prisoner.
Right.
You have to realize what is happening and break that curse. And how you break it is by, yes, you're coming to the truth, but many of those who realize and break it, they try not to break Esau's laws so that they end up in prison. And they stay far from any semblance of anything that can get them into prison. You get me?
Right, sir. Gone.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Gone.
If the Most High mean to punish you, he will punish you another way, because there are so many ways that the curse is liquid. But him said these curses gonna be upon us for a sign and a wonder, and upon our seed forever. So this line here is how you know the Israelites. These curses that are upon them. The Jewish man tell you that, no, but those are for if you break the law, because they can't relate to this.
God.
The Jewish man can't relate to this.
God.
Because as far as yeah.
Salakia, sir, as if they are keeping any of these laws. So
you
why
know,
is any of these curses upon them?
as far as they are concerned, they are keeping it. That's why I don't overtake them.
Right.
But a pity they don't know what is over and over their head, because what is going to catch them is that the curse is from this.
God.
The Most High going to clear them out the land to put his people there.
God.
Now what was I going to say again? The
Jewish man don't Salakia.
Hold on. You remember it's the same like how our embassy, the American embassy out there put up the rainbow flag.
Cancer.
Israel put it up, you know.
God.
Not on the street, you know. Not on the embassy or so, you know. You ever see like when Independence, I see them the major roads, they get some flag like, and they put it on these light poles that are in the center of the road.
God.
Well, the Israelis do us a thing to that, where down there in the land they put up the rainbow flag. Miles of it. Over, I think it was Tel Aviv they put it.
God, to show you what them represent. Salakia.
Yeah, man. But yet they are going to tell her that those curses in Deuteronomy 28, when they ask them about Deuteronomy 28, they say, when last that happened to you? From the time when we lost the kingdom to the Romans.
God.
They can't tell you no time when it happened to
them. So Salakia. So now that you don't support homosexuality, shouldn't it be happening to you now? You understand? Slack,
Well,
yes.
just like what it says in Psalms 147, and as for my judgment, they do not know them. Praise
Right.
be to God.
Canada one
Which
can.
means the Most High has never chastised these nations. He has only chastised us.
Right.
The time is coming that they will be chastised. They will be, these curses is going to be put on them.
Right.
So they are going to know at some point. Them Esau generation are not going to survive these curses. Moses said, grant unto them double what they did to you. They can't manage 800 years of slavery.
Luck, yeah.
Or they will manage that. They can't manage that, right? But we shall exact what the Moses said.
Right.
Not our will, but thine will be done.
Right.
Let's go to Ephesians 6.
Ephesians, Salakia, say that again, sir.
Yeah, Ephesians, the book of Ephesians, chapter
Canada
6,
one
verse 10.
Canada one can.
Read 10 to 12.
Canada one can. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that he may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
12.
Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of this darkness, of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Right. So our wrestling is not against the white man in his flesh and blood.
God.
So it's against the system that they put in place that is over us. The rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Not necessarily talking about no Obiano. He's talking about the system and the spirit that the system puts on this world. What is the spirit? White supremacy is one.
Right.
Your money come first.
Right.
The various idolatrous holidays that you have there. New Year celebration.
Right.
Christmas celebration. The spirit that it gives. That is spiritual wickedness it's referring to. When Easter time, where the White House have them egg hunting time when it comes to celebrating Ishtar.
Right.
They give you the Statue of Liberty, which is Ishtar again. Spiritual wickedness and where it comes from, high places, right there from the government, from the head.
Right.
That's what it's talking about. All right. So when it says, like 13 now said, take on to you the whole armor of God. This is talking about the law, statutes, and commandments again. When you read further go down, talk about breastplate of righteousness. How do you become righteous? Follow the law, statutes, and commandments. The feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. All right. So going all the way down to 20, it is explaining how you shield yourself from these wicked things that is happening. And it's not so difficult for you today. You're coming to the truth. Join the I.S.U.P.K. and we'll teach you how to live it.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
So, Dad, go out to Jeremiah 32.
Canada one can.
Living the righteousness of God is no joke. And
Is it
people,
32 or 33? Salakia, sir.
32. And people take it for a joke. believing that being righteous means you got to make sure you are present in church every day, every Sunday. One, you going to church on Sunday knowing that Saturday is not the Sabbath, Sunday is not the Sabbath. But you are going to tell me that it doesn't matter. You go and bow in your head to in front that white Christ they put up by the altar there. You know that's not Christ because you have the Bible and you're reading Revelation where it gives you the description. But you're going to say, really and truly, it don't really matter what color I'm being. You better matter.
Yeah.
Because Revelation and Daniel, which tell you, give you the description of Christ, is actually describing the person, the man who have the medicine for your sickness that you're going through right now.
Right.
But you know who is feeling it the most? Those brothers in prison.
Gone.
They are the ones feeling it the most.
Gone.
Because we are punished not as an individual but as a nation. You know, your actions can appease them.
God.
Just like how we, by making a stand for the truth in Jamaica, has put some ease on this drought, long droughts that we used to have. Right? And we see where the Most High is take time easing up his foot on the place. But we know that it's going to be coming down more and more again because, you know, whatever number he decides that he wants sealed from Jamaica, he don't reach a quarter there yet.
Right.
Right. 3 million of you out here, more 1/3 of you.
Good.
Right? And one couple thousand, maybe one 2 or 3,000 to be sealed. And you're not making it, you're still talking about, you're still being what's the word we use again? When I said in the delusion, you're still under this strong delusion.
Strong delusion, gone.
Yeah. That Rasta man here, the first thing when film people they want to say, remember them is a Rasta man, you know. The first thing his relatives say they're going to do.
Yeah, man, I bring him to church. So luck, yeah. Make him journey even worse, you know.
Make him journey. Compound sin and sin.
God.
They want to take him to church. The man is a Rasta. Why you not carrying one of the Rasta houses then?
Right.
Better yet, carry him to General Commanding General YAHANNA. We will help him not to go back to prison ever again. And his families who was able to see what happened, we can teach them why it happened. So that none of you in that family it don't happen to you again.
Right.
But you have to make the step. All right, Jeremiah 32, we have it.
Canada one gun, sir.
We're going to read from 37 to 42.
Canada one gun. Canada one gun. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 32, verse 27.
37.
37, Salakia. Verse 37. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whither I have driven them in mine anger and in my fury and in great wrath, and I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely. Verse 38. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God. Verse 39. And I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them.
All right. Now, you see this part here? It said, give them one heart and one way. And for some reason, the truth was born in where?
In Salakia, say that again, sir.
I will give them one heart and one way.
God.
And for some reason, the truth was born where?
It was born in Harlem.
One west.
One west. Okay, Salakia.
That's a direction too.
God.
I mean, there are so many things. That's why I implore every single brother to read the Bible.
God.
So many things in the Bible that give you the hints as to where you should go.
Right.
Harlem, New York, 1 West.
Okay.
And here we talk about following the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High and following one leader. That's one heart.
Okay.
And that one leader follow one leader who is Christ.
Okay.
He does what Christ tell him. Yeah, and you know, Barakata Yahweh Washai. The Most High has never tell him to go and molest any Christ has never tell him to go and molest any underage woman.
That's right.
Right? Or even to consider
right
that a boy is not really a man.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
One heart, one way, one west.
Canada one can.
Right. That they may fear me forever.
Can.
It's the same like how him say the curse is forever. When Christ come and lift the curses, we shall fear the Most High forever. Which
Right.
means no more of them kind of suffering. You know, if the Most High lift the curse, no. Our people just rise.
Right.
Yeah. Even though they're not following God now.
Right.
This is how strong and how resilient the people are. If the Most High putting foot on we while we're down. Because he made us, we were made to stay up. So it's him have to, how him do it? Put the white man over you. Him not even have to send no angel come do it. Put the white man over you.
Right.
And he's doing a damn good job at keeping it down.
Right.
Yeah, man. All right, finish up. Finish that.
Canada one cancer, verse 40.
All right, read 39 again and then you continue. Go on.
Canada one can, verse 39. And I will give them one heart and one way.
One heart, one way, one west.
Canada one can.
Continue.
Canada one can. That they may fear me forever. For the good of them and of their children after them.
40.
Canada one can, verse 40. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. Verse 41. Yea, I will rejoice over them to do them good, and I will plant them in this land assuredly with my whole heart and with my whole soul. Verse
the Most
42.
High saying this, you know. This is his commitment to us. Plant us into that land assuredly, and he's doing it wholeheartedly. 42.
Right. Canada one can, verse 42. For thus saith the Lord, like as I have brought all this great evil upon this people, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised them.
Right. So it's the Most High who brought these evil that we are experiencing.
Right.
As a punishment. Not for our destruction, but because we are disobedient.
Right.
All right. Question.
Last, sir, no question, but a statement. The conscious community, you know what I mean? Like you said, Marcus Garvey movement shattered, and these other movements shattered. The conscious community will just shatter and become, you know what I mean, every kind of abomination under the sun, you know?
Yeah, because each time they shatter, they splinter off in other things.
Right. You know what I mean?
And they are going to continue to grow because unto them it's not given to understand the mysteries.
Right.
The most thing we can do is be happy that the Most High, chose us to understand the mysteries. And pray for strength that we don't get derailed. Because we have seen where many brothers have been derailed, you know?
Right.
We don't want that. We don't want that again. We don't want those things, you know? We need more brothers being in the truth, more than who are to be derailed. Okay. Call him back. Okay. All right, so that's it.
Cancer.
All right. So with that, And by the way, we got just do the something, the Lord's Prayer. Time well spent, and we half an hour. The thing is, it's a time it's a good time to spend this evening because those things, we need to noise it abroad. Let brothers over there when they pray for Jamaica, what they're praying against.
Right.
Know what is happening really out here.
Can. Yeah, man.
You think spiritual wickedness there in America, yeah? They not so be a face in America.
It's lucky.
Very be a face out here.
God.
Them wolf out here don't wear no sheep clothes.
Them not wear no clothes. Lucky.
These wolves don't, and they don't even put in fast teeth so that the wolf teeth hide. They grin you with the wolf teeth same way.
Right.
Maybe they say, well, you are Benjamite, you are a wolf. I don't need any sheep clothing for you.
Cancer, them wolf, yeah, them are the shepherd, and them are run the sheep pen,
You see it? All right, with that, we pass the class over to Priest and Officer Kayado.
All right, clap it up. All right, these are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command in General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find this in Numbers chapter 18 and 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means 10 in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, that is the blowing, Slakia, that is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet, and this is on the Slakia, the first day of the 7th month, and is on Monday, the 6th of September. You can find this in Leviticus 23, verse 24 to 25. Reminding Akiam and Akwatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which include black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we say I imagine, which means to stand. Sarlapanya Akodam, which means turn and face the east.
Stand.
We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and then in English. Abanawa. Shabashamaya.
Tunu.
Kwadash. Aya. Shamka. Yahawa.
Malakwatka.
Taba'a. Ratazaka. Aya. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Aya. Bashamaya. Natanlanawa. Lakam. Kal. Yawam. Wasalaklanawa. Kababwatnawa. Kasalaknawa. Kawabwat Yanawa. Wala'a.
Wala'an,
Tabayanawa,
Tabayanawa,
Banasayawan,
Banasayawan,
Abal,
Abal,
Awashainawa,
Awashainawa,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Ra,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Amalakwat,
Amalakwat,
Wa'ala,
Wa'ala,
Wa'ataparat,
Watapara,
La'aiwalamyam,
La'aiwalamyam,
Aman.
Amen. In English, our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it. Amen.
So be it. Amen. All right, Sar, which means to turn.
Turn.
We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. I.S.U.P.K. Shabbat. I.S.U.P.K. Barak. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Barakatah. Yadamata. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Sar, which means turn and face the sisters. Men of Israel. I.S.U.P.K. Shabbat. I.S.U.P.K. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Basham Yadamata. Class dismissed. All right, so everybody remember to like the video, share, you know what I mean? Share on all social media platforms, all right? And subscribe, you know what I mean? Remember to pay on the tithes as well. The information is there on the screen. And if you would like to donate to Haiti for help relief, right? You can donate to the I.S.U.P.K. Just go to isupk.com, you know what I mean? blackwatch.news for more information, you understand? You know what I mean? Our brothers and sisters in Haiti, you know what I mean, desperately need our help. You understand? And with that, shalom.
In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said He would send plagues upon the earth before He frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica Shalom.
Robbing and killing in the ghetto, living in filth and squalor. This don't have to be our life. This life is given to us by them low-life niggas you call black leaders.
One West, UPK, 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 UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK, 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 UPK. Warfare every motherfucking day. UPK, 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 UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK, 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 UPK. Warfare every motherfucking day. I don't fuck with the fake, never been on a date. Why these niggas so gay? I don't eat 2K. All I eat is steak, chicken and grapes. Feel like an 8, don't need no weights. UPK bitch at the bar. Hey, get a bitch wetter than a lake. Hey, open my eye, catch a case. I'll break a bitch nigga face. Hey, one West the only way. Hey, all eyes on UPK. Hey, take ground. Hey, fuck what they say. No, we don't play. Chopper my spray. Hit him with the blade. Now the nigga on the fucking page. Suicide waves. Hey, we know gon' drop like this. Like one dead bitch, hot like this. Like UPK hit the fucking block like this. Like that's what the Lord can't stop this shit. Those ain't no bitch up in sight. All my niggas prepared to die. World War III, word on fire. Waiting on the Lord to crack the sky. In them chairs swing that. Mommy nothing but them UPK sad one West. UPK, 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 UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK, 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 UPK. Warfare every motherfucking day. UPK, 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 UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK, 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 UPK. Warfare every motherfucking day. I'm gonna set your shit off, I'm a black man. Slap deep, better get my foot the back end. You better hope that I don't get orders from captains to take ground, bitch. I'm ready for action. You already know what I got to say. If you ain't UPK, put you in a goddamn way. I was born in a letter field at a battlefield. I'll be ready for this war shit every day. World War III, would you hurry up, please? So I can put my enemies on their knees and make them beg me. But no mercy from me. You didn't get love to the birds and the bees and the trees. But what the fuck do you mean? The only way we can have peace is to hear you scream. Priests and the prophets of the king. The stories of the book of the black God is the time I make a sweet dream. I think I was Shah Mashiach, the king of all kings, ruler of all things. Hell is what we bring. Destruction of Babylon, destroying everything. With towards the dreams on a whole nother level you ain't ever seen. From a UPK team, 144, you know what I mean. One West, nigga. West, UPK.